Hello viewers, hope you are doing fine. I welcome you back onto this channel. If you are someone who is looking out to build a career into IT industry from a non-technical background, then you are on the right platform. Here we are learning step by step from very basic to advanced, and that practically works. I'm working into IT industry since more than 10 years, and I come with vast knowledge and multiple domain experience which I am teaching over here in very simple things in very simple steps. Yes, we are building a community over here who is hustling, who is working hard from his normal work to learn, to progress, to self-develop his skills and career into high-paying skills. Yes, friends, I am talking about Oracle database technology. Now, if you are new to this technology, I will just give you a brief about that. Now, every company has a data and a website which is online, and everything on the web or internet keeps or store data somewhere onto a server. Now, to manage that data, you need a database engine. And now that database engine, if you understand how it works, how you can administrate it, then you understand the core of IT, because everything evolves or revolve around data in IT. You can forecast, you can manage your supply and demands, you can also check your losses, and you can take prevention actions on that, and you can scale your business very fast on the history and data you have. So it's predictive analysis is the key for now in the business. All right, so once you understand what is data, it's very easy for you to understand the entire IT, how it works, and you can choose any other career and you can learn, and learning is one part which never ends up. So what would we learn today in the session? We will learn what is database, logical and physical structure, how the data is stored, which goes on to the operating system bit, very granular level. You have your table space, you have your data files in Oracle to govern, to control, to secure the tables and the data. Without wasting time, let us have an overview and understand what it is. All right, who want to know this? Are you excited? Let's jump into that session. Let's take an example of Gmail. When you provide your username and password and you find your old emails with attachment and everything again, and you can access this anywhere from the world. How you get that data back? Yes, there may be some mechanism where they are storing all the data and keeping it available every time you access it. They are storing it onto a server which they have. Now the science behind taking your data and storing to the server has so many components. It includes server, it includes storage, it includes database, it includes application, it includes network, it includes internet, like that. Here we are talking about the topology or the area that is known as database, which actually is the owner of the data. It keeps the data, it's secure, it encrypts, it takes the backup, and it makes it accessible to the user. So this medium we are talking about over here. Now let us see what is there today in the session. Now we are talking about database logical and physical structure. It has logical and physical structure. It's divided into two. How Oracle manage data logically and how it store data physically. That we are going to look. Let us quickly have a terminology what is there. A database user. It is an account name and password with certain privilege. In the database, a DB user is an account having a name and password and have some privileges to it. What is schema? set of objects owned by a database user. Example of schema objects are table, index, sequence, cluster, view. Now, we have table space. What does table space means? It's a logical structure of a database. At this point, just remember that a table space is a logical structure. We will see more into in the coming session. What is data file? Physical structure of the database. Now you have logical structure as table space, physical structure as data file. Then we have data segments. Now if we refer to as there is a data or a segment, it refers to a table in the database. What is an extent? It's a space allocation unit which could be in KB or MB, kilobyte or megabyte. Just remember this terminology and a logical and physical structure. This will help us to understand in a coming session. Here we will further look into extend, DB blocks, OS block. As I told you before, OS block is the smallest unit which is stored on the disk. So let us see how the data come from table space to the data file, then it goes into the table, then it stores in the DB block, then it goes into OS block. Isn't it interesting? Alright, let us see. So extend is further divided into DB block. Then what is DB block then? It's a unit of data management. Let us see DB block over here. Row of table will be stored in DB block. All right. Just for the purpose of illustration, let us understand this is table having row and columns like this. Now this table is stored on a disk. Now this disk is a collection of your DB blocks. All right. So row of a table will be stored in DB blocks. Data storage unit. It is also called as data storage unit. It is made up of multiple OS blocks. What does this mean? That let's say one DB block may be made up of multiple OS blocks. Okay. Standard size of a DB block is 8K, but it can support 2K, 4K, 8K, 16K and 32K. Let us have look on OS block. Smallest unit of data management. This inside is your OS block. These are your OS block. It is the smallest unit of data management or data storage at OS level. The sizes are 1K, 2K, 4K. All right. Okay. Now, with an example, you have database type, which is online transaction processing, OLTP database, and you have online analytical processing, OLAP database. This is used for online transaction production database, and this is used for reporting, analysis, and all forecasting things. So this is like a warehouse, data warehouse, where your data is stored in terabytes, petabyte, like that. So the size of the DB block over here is like 8K size, and you will consider the DB block to be bigger in size, which is like 16K, 32K. Okay, now let us drill down with an example from the database to the disk. You have a database. Let's say this is a dev database. Database is further divided into table space. You have table space 1, table space 2, up to table space n. Then this table space is further divided into data files. Now, understand from the diagram, your data file has two things, header and data. That's called metadata and data. Header is there and the data file is having the data. Now, this data is a physical entity and it's stored on the disk. Extent size, how now? Let's understand. Extent size, you have 200K is the extent size and DB block size is 8K. Therefore, 15 data block in one extent would be there. We saw OS block, we saw DB block. Then you have extend, which we look into a previous session. Extend is a collection of multiple DB blocks. DB blocks is a collection of multiple OS blocks. And OS block is the smallest unit of data management. Isn't it interesting? So now extend is a collection of your DB blocks.